Yeah, we are at the cheese shop in Stewart's Draft. It's windy, so you're probably going to hear the wind here. And there is the sign that says the cheese shop and a Amish buggy. So they have homemade baked goods and cheeses and stuff. So we're going to go in and check out some snacks for our future. Here they have all different kinds of like pre-packaged mixes, and they had spices, all kinds of stuff, and they have shoe fly pie mix. It's like one of my favorites. Oh, and the soft pretzel mix could be a close runner-up. It's like a big supermarket, and they have Dave's checking out the jams here because they have some sugar-free jams, which he has to use because he's diabetic. But it's like a Mennonite-owned big grocery store, but there's lots of homemade goodies and jams, and there's like Red Mill different packaged stuff in here too, so kind of neat. So here is what it is, and there's a deli in the back, and there's also a little sandwich shop that you can make your own or you can have them make you a sandwich. Dave and I bought some homemade cheese and some homemade buns, and we're going to make our own lunch. So we'll show you in the car what we got. So we had fun in the cheese shop, and we spent $41 in the cheese shop. But let me show you what I got. Dave got some homemade blueberry jelly and some strawberry jelly that does not have sugar added to it. It has natural sugars, but no added sugars. And then he found some sugar-free things, so he got some toffee, English toffee bars. And then I got the shoe fly pie mix, and I got these. I have not had these since we used to go to Stuckey's years ago. Praline pecans. They're pecans that are coated with praline, like it's like sugar and molasses and I don't know what else, but it's really good. And then this is part of our lunch, and this is, I'm holding it upside down, homemade extra sharp cheese. And I mean, this is a big block of cheese, and it was $3.89. It's a little over half a pound. We will not be eating it all for lunch. I have baggies. I brought some. Then I got these. Now these you can buy at the grocery store, but they are really, really good. If you find them, they are apple pie snaps. They only come out, they're Stouffer's brand, or Stauffer's brand. They only come out in the fall. They taste so good dipped in tea or coffee. And then Dave got some malt balls that have no sugar added. And I got some loose breakfast tea, English breakfast tea, yum. And this is the bread. This is homemade bread, little light wheat rolls that we're going to cut the cheese up and put it on one of these and have it for lunch. So that's what we got. We are on the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is also known as Skyline Drive. We're at the tops of the mountains. You can see all the way out here. Way down there. I'll zoom back out so you can see this little bunch of houses down here. That's how far it really is. And now I'm going to turn around and you can see there's an overlook above us going the other direction. That's the top of the mountain, and that is another overlook up there. And there's a Skyline Drive is right here in front of us. Here's your next clue. We are in Schuyler, Virginia. The characters in these books didn't live in Schuyler, Virginia, but the author of the TV series did. And the TV series was based on his life in the 1930s. Know where we're going yet? Here's your last clue. If you have not figured it out yet, ready? Good night, John boy. So yes, indeed, we are at, let me turn this around, the Walton Mountain Museum. These are all shows that Earl Hamner is involved in writing. There's some I did not know. I knew about the Twilight Zone. I did not know Heidi and Charlotte's Web, or Gentle Ben, or Nanny and the Professor, or Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. All the shows I watched when I was a kid. Snowy River, Where the Lilies Bloom, Apple's Way. I remember watching that. It didn't last very long. The Young Pioneers. I saw that. That was based on a Rose Wilder Lane book, which was the daughter of Laura Ingalls Wilder. Yeah. And this is actually the school he attended and graduated from in 1940. This is the real John Boy, Earl Hamner. And this is Richard Thomas, who portrayed him on the TV show. And then Earl Hamner's two brothers were combined to play the part that became Ben. And there's his two brothers, Paul and Bill. And then this is Eric Scott, who actually played Ben on the TV show. And Cliff Hamner, on the right there, played Jason, or who, yeah. Jason was played actually by John Walmsley, who actually was born in England and lives back in England now. And the brother that was James Hamner, because there was actually 8 children in the Hamner family instead of 7 that are portrayed on TV. So James Hamner was played by David Harper, and he was Jim Bob. And I believe most of the siblings have passed away, because you'll see most of them have little black ribbons next to their names. So it looks like there's only one that's still living. And this is Audrey Hamner, and her character would have been Erin, who was played by Mary Beth McDonough. And Marion Hamner Hawks played the character of Mary Ellen, or she was the character that became Mary Ellen, who was Judy Norton. And this is the only sibling that's still alive, and that is Nancy Hamner Jamerson, and her character, she became the character Elizabeth, who was played by Cammie Kotler. This is a mock-up of the living room. I love the dollhouse. Look at that. I remember when I was a kid, they had a cardboard version of the dollhouse, and I wanted it in the worst way. So they've got the radio and all the chairs sitting around it. Now, because it's in a square room, it's not exactly how it was on the TV show, and you'll see why I say that in just a few minutes. There's the furniture. There's would have been the front door, and then this middle door right there. Sometimes went to the grandparents' room, sometimes it was a closet. This would have been along the back wall behind me, but that was part of the stairwell and the fireplace. Here is a replica of the kitchen from the Waltons. There's the mystery door that nobody ever knew quite where it went. I love this style sink. I was telling Dave, I really like that type. You can see it there. They sometimes have porcelain legs attached to, but I always thought it was neat. And there's the table where everybody would sit. and the Hoosier cabinet, and the ironing board. And then over here, they have one of the cameras. There's the lights and one of the cameras that was used. And there is Earl Hamner's director's chair. And there's some more lights here. And this is a mock-up of John Boy's room. Yep, Boatwright University, and he went in Charlottesville. And Charlottesville's not too far down the road, but it would have been all dirt roads back then.
Yeah.
And there's his typewriter and his desk. Well, that's his typewriter. His desk is over there. This is the real Ike Godsey store, which was actually called Sneed's. And there it is. And this is what the inside looked like. And it burned down in 1989. But there is a new convenience store built on the same site. So this is set up to look like Ike Godsey's store, but it's actually the gift shop. But you can see all the postal boxes and pictures of Ike and Cora Beth. And the Royal Crown Cola machine. That is John and Olivia's bed and breakfast. It's a new house, but it was built to look like the TV house. And the interiors, you have to pay to go inside, but the interiors with the famous kitchen and the stairwell are the same. And you can see there's John Boy's car. These are different things that were sold, Walton's products. And this is a movie in the back here called Spencer's Mountain. That came out before the Waltons. There's the dollhouse I was talking about. I remembered as oops, there's glass there. And you could buy Walton's dolls. That's John Boy and Mary Ellen and Grandma and Grandpa. But I remember wanting this dollhouse in the worst way when I was a kid. Here is that cardboard dollhouse of the Waltons that I really wanted when I was a kid. There's really like next to nothing inside. complete with cardboard furniture. Okay, so there's not much in here. Probably a good thing my parents didn't buy it for me. And this is a smaller version of the same dollhouse. So I wonder if there's stuff in the back. Here is a little diorama of the farm. There's the seesaw and the garden. If you remember one of the episodes, John Boy moves into the garden shed.
John Boy's car there too.
Yeah, and John Boy's car over here. And there's the sawmill with the fort on the top that the kids built. And the back of the house that you never got to see.